Hello, everybody. We'll give you a few minutes to come on, and I'm going to be bringing Miss Vonda Easley on with us. We're going to be talking about Creekside, a great Southern gospel event you don't want to miss. Waiting for her to come on here. How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's doing good. Hey, Jessica Horton, good to see you, my friend. All right, it says we're adding Miss Vonda right now. How's everybody doing? Vonda, all you have to do is accept the request. What's up, my friend?
I
What
see
you up to?
you.
What you
What
up
you
to?
doing?
Not much.
Oh, I
Sitting here
tell you,
waiting
but
on
I don't
this
want everybody
interview
to
with
know.
you.
Well, I was waiting to see when you were going to go live. I was looking for you on here. And then I thought, oh, I need my Creekside poster. So I had to go back in there and get it. You had a good day?
I have, and I've been counting down the hours till I got to talk to you on Facebook Live. How about that?
Well, you should just call me sometimes when these other people aren't in here, and then we can really talk.
Hey, sounds good to me. Hey, I see Jack's watching.
I saw
It's good to
that.
see him on here.
He's snooping, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey, I
man.
can't wait about Creekside. I'm coming to it.
I'm so excited about Creekside. It seems like usually about 2 months before Creekside every year, Andrew, that the excitement just starts to grow and it gets more and more and more exciting. And it seems like this year that more of the artists are talking about Creekside than ever before. I don't know if you've noticed it or not, but it's like on every single page. Now, I don't know if Rob is like making them do that or if they're just doing it on their own. But my phone has rang constantly off the hook from people asking me about Creekside, asking me about tickets, VIP tickets, general admission tickets, who's going to be singing on what night. And, I know a lot of information, but I don't know every single thing. But everything that I do know, I've been telling one of the churches that my group sings in Ohio just found out this morning that the pastor and his wife are coming. They're driving from, they're over on the side of Ohio that's close to Michigan. And they're going to be coming
Wow.
all the way to Creekside. And this will be their first year to ever come. And so, yeah, I cannot wait. It's going to be here before we know it.
Yeah, I can't wait to get there. This is my first year to be there, so I cannot wait.
Well, you're going to love it. We're going to put you over there, find you a spot to do some interviews. I see the boss man's in the room. There's Rob. He just signed on. But and Richie Rose. Hey, we can't have Creekside without Richie Rose. I mean,
That's
when he came, well, you weren't there last year, but when he came in and he emceed during the showcases, it just stepped up a whole nother level when Richie Rose came in. It was wonderful. And Greg Dodson, there's Greg Dodson. We can't have Creekside without Greg Dodson. I saw not long ago some event. I don't remember, and I don't want to say the wrong event because there's so many going on, but Greg was at some event and I saw him up there MC, and I thought, really? You're going to hold out on me and not help me with these showcases at Creekside? And he better not even think that he's not going to help, because I'm going to put Greg Dodson to work. Don't you think I should do that?
absolutely. Work him hard.
One of the things that
Hey, I see Jessica Horton's in the room.
I
She's awesome.
know, isn't she just awesome? What a talent she is. It doesn't matter if she's singing gospel music. She also does some voice work. I've got to hear a little bit of her stuff that she's done on Smule, the contest. Did you see that? But
Yes, she's
listen,
good.
I just hope she never finds out how good she really is, because she is amazing and she's so humble. And that is one of the things that just makes her so special to me. I'm so excited about working with Jessica. I cannot wait to get her song. She's been in the studio. She's been working with Dennis and Leslie McKay at MAC Records, and Dennis said, we're just so excited about this, and we don't know if it's going to be a bluegrass tune, if it's going to be more country, Christian country, or if it's going to be more Americana. But there'll be some DJs out there like you and Greg Dodson and Richie and all that. Y'all let me know what it is, what y'all want to, what y'all think about it soon. It won't take long, and I think Jessica's going to be.
She needs to sing a bluegrass tune. I like bluegrass music.
Me too.
Sing some bluegrass.
Me too. That's one of my favorites. You know that. And speaking of bluegrass, we got something special going on. Eagles Wings is going to be having a #1 party at Creekside this year. We're going to be celebrating #1 on Eagles Wings song King Jesus. And I hadn't really said much about this because a lot of times I don't do as much posting as some people because I love to keep the focus on the Lord. And but when somebody reaches an honor of a #1 song, it's just so much there that you feel like you need to celebrate. But the last couple of months, King Jesus, it not only reached #1, but it hasn't fallen, and it's not even in the top 10 still. In the last chart that just came out, it's still #5, and it's just hanging in.
Wow.
Every time we make calls on that song, they're saying, well, we're not done with Eagle Swings yet. I told Miss Debbie yesterday, she was asking about when he hung the moon, their next single, she was asking about that. And I told her, I said, well, these other DJs are not ready to let go of King Jesus. And she was like, well, do we need to tell them too? I said, no. That's a good thing. I'm walking out here to my car, so I'm taking y'all with me because
you tell her that this DJ right here has been playing If He Hung the Moon like crazy.
That song,
I love it.
That song's a different song from King Jesus, Andrew. And the reason why it is because it's a ministering song. And it's kind of sad in a way because some people really don't want to be ministered to. And when they, you play something on the radio, they want you to play something fast and fun. And King Jesus ministers to me also. But the song, If He Hung the Moon, it's every time I play it, there's this guy that watches the Facebook Live named Fonzo Fields. It's Richie Rose's father-in-law. And he'll send the same message every time. He'll say, my eyes are leaking. And because we worry, all of us worry so much about the things that we're going through. And, that anytime that we're going through a struggle, we're so worried about it. And that song just reminds us that we don't have to worry because the one that's in charge, he put the stars in place. He hung the moon. He told the ocean where to stop. Can you imagine? He just told it to stop right there, and it stopped. And I can walk along on the sides of the beach and see the water and see the waves, and it makes me think about that song. And so anyway, I love that song, and I think that the DJs love it just as much, but it's a different kind of song. And I want to invite everybody that's on this Facebook Live right now. Miss Debbie gave me this invitation, and these will be in everybody's folder at Creekside. So everybody's going to get an invitation. But right now, some of you guys that are like straddling the fence, you're just not sure if you're going to be at Creekside or not. Well, you want to be there. I mean, I'm just telling you, you want to be there. And when you leave, you're going to be like, oh, I'm going back next year to see my family, because that's what Creekside is. It is family. And the invitation says you are invited to celebrate with Eagles Wings their #1 song, King Jesus. This is going to take place at Creekside on Thursday, November the 1st at 3:00 p.m. at the Ramada Inn Convention Showcase Hall. And we're going to have cake, and we're going to get them to play and sing King Jesus for everybody. Lots of DJs have already confirmed that they're going to be there to celebrate with Eagles Wings. And I'm so glad that you're going to be there, Andrew. We're going to have a good time.
So tell us, who are some of the artists that'll be there?
Well, I thought you'd never ask. Let me just see. I might have to hold this thing out like this because I can't see anymore. Okay, the Dunaways. You like them?
Love those people. Oh
We
yeah.
were just talking about Eagles Wings. Of course, they're going to be there, and they're not just going to be singing. They're going to be a featured artist this year. We're also going to be honoring Arthur Rice with the Kingdom Heirs. That'll take place on Monday night. And then
Hey, I tell you somebody who needs to be there for that that's in this room.
Nicholas.
His favorite group is Kingdom Heirs. That's all he ever talks
Is that
about.
Nicholas?
Nicholas.
We
Yes.
can't be talking bad about him, though, because he's one of my favorites now. I love me some Nicholas. And do y'all all know what takes place on Tuesday night, right? The Diamond Awards.
What happens?
The Diamond Awards.
Oh yay.
We get to get all dutied up. You know what dutied means?
Get all dressed up.
Yeah, get it all dutied up and dressed up and all that kind of stuff. And we go down. Listen, the host of the Diamond Awards, only the best for Creekside, Dr. Jerry Goff and Little Jan. I mean, really,
Awesome.
nothing but pure
Yeah.
class, pure class. And the lady that heads up the Diamond Awards, I'm talking about everything from every word that's spoken all the way through is Miss Jean Grady. And with gospel music today, her and her husband, Ken, we couldn't have Creekside without the two of them. And she does just a wonderful job. And it's first class. Diamond Awards, I know everybody's been voting for all their favorites all year. And people have been calling and saying, when's it going to be over? We got people still voting for us. So I think Rob will have to verify it, but I think that the voting is officially over now, but you'll be finding out that night. Hey, you'll know who the new trio is, or the favorite trio, or the duet, or the radio person, or what are all the other things that they have? Quartet of the year, new quartet of the year, Horizon. I mean, there's so many things that are in there, but whoever you've been voting for, you'll get to come in that night and say, my favorite one or my favorite didn't, but one thing's for sure, you're going to have a great time. And C.T. Townsend is another one that we've added this year, and we are so excited
Awesome.
that CT's going to be there. Any of you Facebookers out there that have been watching that you watched Burlington Revival, or you watched Bristol Revival, well, you watch CT in action at either one of those. The Lord just has used him in such a mighty way. One of the things I'll never forget from the first time I watched Burlington Revival is they were putting up the tent, and you probably remember this. They were putting up the tent for Burlington, and there was a young guy out there helping them. And he looked up at CT, and he was just squalling. And he said, you know what? I'm not even worthy to be putting this tent up out here because I don't know Jesus. And CT stopped right what he was doing, right that moment, and prayed and led that guy to the Lord. I have no idea how many people that have been saved under his preaching. But I'm excited about that, because that, to me, that just takes Creekside to a whole new level with him coming. If I don't get to sing a note, and that's my night to sing, or whatever night to sing, I don't care. I just pray that somebody there will come to know Jesus, that somebody there that's going through a hard time will come in and they'll find some hope, and that they'll just, we'll just have revival, because to me, that's what it's all about. It's just, let's go have church and let God, he's the one that really is the best at this. Just let him have control of the whole thing. The Williamsons are going to be there. Of course, Mark 209. The His Songs are going to be there. The Jordan Family Band. And I'm tickled about
I love those folks.
Yes, the Kaufmans. Man, I love.
They were just at my church
What?
last year. I mean, yeah, that I pastored, and I mean to tell you, God showed up and showed out with them.
Did Canaan sing He's Alive?
Yeah, I got her to. Yeah.
What about the one
Because I told her, I said, that's my favorite song. She said, it's not in our lineup. I said, you got to do it.
Listen, what about the one that her and her mama sang to each other about, I'll stay on my knees because I have to?
They didn't do that one, I don't think.
Have you heard that song? Well, it talks about the mama walking their child to school, and the mama always praying for the child, and sometimes the child didn't always do the right thing. Sometimes they would talk back to the mama, but the mama looks at the child and says, but I'll stay on my knees because I have to. I'm going to keep praying for you. I'm going to fight to the bitter end. And then at the end, the child, which is Canaan, sings to her mama and thanks her for always praying for her. Oh, tear jerker, but it is
Wow.
an amazing song. I don't know who wrote that song, but I'm going to tell you something. It's an awesome song. There's another group that's going to be at Creekside this year, too, that this is the first time they've been there. And I'm as excited about them coming to sing as I am CT coming to preach. And that's Children of the Promise. Do you know them?
Love them folks. Oh, yeah.
Everybody loves them. I mean, just awesome family and awesome group. One of the things that makes Creekside different from like Quartet Convention, which we're getting ready to be at next week, is it's a little different setting because the building doesn't hold like our building. It holds around 1,300 people, but we have, I think last year Rob said 1,100 and something on Tuesday night. If the fire department had been in there, they probably we'd been in trouble. But we have a lot of people for that size building. But compared to how many people are over at the LeConte Center, it's not a lot of people compared to that. But where it's different is that you can go up to the artist booth and you can talk to them. If you need them to pray for you, you can actually have a conversation with them. So it's more up close and personal. And then at midnight, we all get together, and the artists and all the people that want to come, we go down and we invade. I'm not kidding. We invade the front desk people, and we go into the breakfast area, and that's where we have church. That's where we throw down about Jesus. We got Carl over
I've
there
heard a
playing.
lot of good stuff about that part.
Do what?
I've heard a lot of good stuff about the midnight prayer. I've heard lots.
That's one thing that you're going to be standing there waiting for, because after you go the first time, I'm not even kidding, you're going to be like, oh, let's go do it again. But, you know, a lot of, I don't want to call them fans because I've never had a fan in my life, but friends. And, but friends of the artist. They see the artist perform. They see them sing week after week. They see them at their best because they've practiced all week. They're ready to get up there and sing for them. But they don't know about, like, the hardships they go through. They don't know about the bus just catching on fire in Birmingham, or they don't know about barely being able to make it from one place to another place, either financial or what, because most of the artists don't share that kind of thing with everybody. But when you go to midnight prayer and you have one artist stand up and say, you know, I just need y'all to pray for me because we've been going through one thing after another, and it seems like over and over and over that the devil's just trying to shut down my ministry. And I need y'all to pray for me because I know God called me to do this. And then they bust into tears and say, but I'm just tired of fighting him, y'all. And then you see all these other artists get up and take them down there to the altar, lay hands on them, start praying for them. It don't matter what denomination you are. You hear a little bit of everything at midnight prayer. Everything goes. You know what? It's all about Jesus. And
you don't want to get this Pentecostal preacher
that's
fired
right.
up.
You may take a lap or two, and that'll be all right. Matthew Browder's in here. He'd take a lap or two. Last year on Thursday night, Matthew Browder, he was speaking to the people. And it got to time. What I love about the Browders is they don't just sing to you. They preach to you in every single song. I mean, they preach in their music. The words, praise you in this valley. I've only wondered over the last few weeks since Matthew's mama went on to be with Jesus. I only wonder how many times praise you in this valley has ministered to Matthew, because
You know, I wanted to tell Matthew why he's in here. He has been, there's not many people I tell this to, but I know he's going through a trial, so I'll tell him. You know, he's been one of my biggest encouragers that's watching this video. Him and Libby Perry, I mean, you've been a major encourager to me too, Vonda. But I mean, Matthew, he messages me and say, "What's up, buddy? What's going on?"
first
And you
time I
know
ever met
that
him, he called me to sing me a song. He said, let me tell you about this song. You know, we was on the bus and God gave me this song. And I don't remember which song it was, but it kind of seems like it was Fall on My Knees, which I love that song too. And actually it's on my It's in my music on my phone, and when I'm walking, that's one of the songs I love to listen to that. But Matthew was they were on Thursday night, and he ended up doing an invitation. The altar was full, but last year when the Browders came that night, I didn't know what to expect. I know them, I know their hearts, and I know their music. But sometimes when people are at an event, they want you to entertain them, because a lot of them up there on the VIP seats, they paid for a VIP ticket, and they're thinking, I'm at a show, because they are in Pigeon Forge where all the shows are, and I'm sitting back there thinking, well, I hope Matthew don't change one thing. I hope he gets up there and throws Jesus all over them. But if they get mad, I hope they take all their complaints to Rob, because I don't want them. So he got up there, and let me just tell you, from the minute they started singing, it was anointed. And when it got to the invitation time, the altars were full. People was down there doing business with the Lord. And Jamie Britt, she said, I hope I never, ever, ever have to miss a Creekside. She stood there on the front row. I got a picture of her today. I was going through my pictures, and there's one with them little hands straight up, and she's praising the Lord. And I wouldn't take nothing for that picture of her. And
I love that
I know
girl.
she's
She's
going to get
so
to be
sweet.
there. I'm so excited she's going to get to be at Creekside. But I didn't even hit on, we got almost 50 artists this year, but I didn't hit on, half of them. But I don't want to take up too much of your time. I don't know how long you want me to talk, but we got some others. Tanya Rose is going to be there. There's a group called Glory Land that's going to be there. The writers are going to be there. Chronicle, and oh my goodness, Chronicle. They just keep on getting, as my mama would say, Andrew, my mama would say, they just keep on getting gooder and gooder, not better and better. But I heard them in Vernon, and they've got a lot of new music, and just love it when they get up there and share.
I tell you what, you listed a bunch of groups I play.
I know.
I love
The
each and every one of
Schofields,
those
the
groups you
Schofields,
listed.
they're going to be there.
I don't know them.
Matt Phelps is going to be there. Matt, he's a, what do you call him? He's a partner in crime with Les Butler, or what else you got?
Yeah, that's a good
Sidekick.
name
I don't
for him.
know. I call Paula my partner in crime, but sidekick or whatever. But he and Les Butler work together. But Matt Phelps, he does just an amazing job. The Griffins are going to be there. The Journeys, the Dodrels, Miss Hazel Sane. I think I mentioned Tanya Rose a little bit. The Epps family, McKay Project. Oh my goodness. The Bates family,
Speaking of the Journeys, Donna Journey just stepped in the room
well,
here.
she's going to be at Creekside. And day 3, don't let me forget day 3. Day 3 is going to be there. Okay, Mark Bird's Living Proof.
Faith. Living Faith.
There's a Living Proof too. I wish somebody else had to remember all these group names like I do. Okay.
Gospel True Trio's there too, aren't they?
Who? Gospel True.
Gospel True Trio.
2 luckiest men in the world to get to sing with her.
2
luckiest men in the world. They ought to write her a check just to get to stand on stage with her.
And my buddies, the Chordsmen, they're going to be there with y'all too, aren't they?
Jerry Jennings.
The Chordsmen Quartet.
Jerry Jennings.
Yeah.
They're going to be there.
They are a very special group to me. They were actually the very first group that carried me to my first trip to NQC ever.
Really?
Yeah.
They're a really good group. I did not know them until I met them at Creekside, but they're a really good group. I was listening to one of their CDs the other day, and I was just sitting there thinking, these guys are really good. And, hey, another quartet that's going to be there that's really good, they're bringing a busload of folks, is the Pine Ridge Boys.
Oh, I love them folks too.
Yes,
now.
You do. You
can't get no better than Stephen Kraft.
I can get mad at him, but I still like him. I can get mad at him, tell him what I think. He'll tell me what he thinks too. But then we'll get through. We'll tell each other we love each other and go on. I love me some lyrics.
A bunch of us guys, like me and Nicholas and Stephen, talk a lot, and we just give each other down the road.
Yeah.
I think Stephen's a nut, but I ain't going to go into all that.
You might be a nut, but you screwed on the right boat, Andrew.
That's right.
Hey, there's some soloists. I see one here, Miss Debbie Bennett and Sharon Walker. You know Sharon?
I do.
She is.
I think I've heard
Pauline
of her. Yeah.
Patterson's niece, I think.
Yeah, I have heard of her. Yeah, I
Pauline
sure
Peters.
have. Yeah,
Oh,
that's right.
that girl can sing the glory down. And Mercy Rain, they're going to be there. Mercy Fail. You know who Mercy Fail is?
I do. Alicia is my graphics designer for my
She
radio show.
ain't
She's
right.
amazing.
She ain't even right. She just walks around looking all precious and sweet. But that girl right there, don't cross her. Do not cross her. She's been working with me. I didn't taught her how to get it done.
Vonda, you hadn't taught her how to get in trouble now, have
Not
you?
yet, but she's hanging out with me all week at NQC. I mean,
Oh
we're
no.
gonna play a joke on somebody. I don't know who. I'm thinking it might.
Rob, I'll pray extra hard for you, Rob.
I'm thinking about Les Butler. I'm thinking about playing a trick on Les Butler because our booth is beside his booth, and either him or Donnie Williamson. I hadn't decided which one yet, but one of them we're gonna play a trick on. I don't know which one, but we're gonna get him because Les, he's kind of
I
hard to
think
trick.
Donnie
You either make him
I
mad or
think
you
Donnie
don't.
Williamson.
Donnie
I
Williamson.
think you should do Donnie Williamson. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just got to think of the right thing to get him with. Hey, Sacred Harmony is going to be there. That's one of Les's groups that he promotes. They're going to be there. Love that group. And we're also having Angela. I saw her say I forgot her, but I didn't forget her because I wanted to talk about the showcase. Will you put the time and everything about the showcase in here? Angela Marie, she's right there. And I did not forget her. She jumped ahead of me. But don't tell her. Hey, Kristen Stanton's going to be there too. And I was talking about soloists just a few minutes ago. She's going to be there. There's a couple of people that on their pictures, I can't tell who they are. Vernon and what's their names? They're friends with Mercy Rain. Vernon,
Higher ground.
Susan, Rob knows.
The Gibbs family.
Yeah.
The
I can
Gibbs
never
family.
think of their group name, but I know their first names. They're going to be there. And I don't know if they're on this poster. We've got some people that maybe we didn't know they were coming or didn't get their picture early enough. Answered Prayer. Miss Nikki Bobicki is going to be
Oh
on
yeah.
here.
Yeah.
She is.
That girl's a singing machine.
She is a mess. She is a great singer. I love their new song too. Love their new song. And they're going to be here. Common Bond Quartet. You know them?
I haven't heard of
Well,
them,
you
no.
need to look them up because you won't forget them. They're his songs.
I know them
You know
folks. I
them?
know Richard. He's a nut too.
Nutcase. Nutcase. Monday,
Sound like
October
you
the.
need a practice jail cell for all these folks.
That's right. Hey, Monday, October the 29th. It's going to start at 12 noon. It's going to go till 2 o'clock. And it's going to be the Smoky Mountain Gospel Showcase. And what that is a lot of the artists that are going to be singing in that is from the area. And Angela not only is singing at Creekside, but she kind of heads that up. And she knows all of those artists up there. So she absolutely don't just work on Creekside right before it starts. She works all during the year. Sheila Blackwell, we could not do Creekside without Sheila Blackwell. All of her volunteers that come and help. Paula Hendrick. She'd probably get mad at me for mentioning her name, but Paula, and I don't mention her name a lot of times because she doesn't want me to, but she sits up there at the front and she is information station. And we've got her some help this year, but we couldn't do it without Paula. She absolutely has been working on it all year long. Last week, she just sat and called restaurants just so we would know all the restaurants that would be open afterwards. She talked with a lady named Debbie up in Pigeon Forge who owns, she manages 5 different restaurants and worked out a deal with them. They're also going to be in the program. They're going to be one of the sponsors. And so a lot of times Paula don't get the credit she deserves because she's working behind the scenes and making things happen. But Sheila Blackwell, Angela, Marie, Paula, people like that. People you see Rob yelling at them saying, hey, we need some help. And they take off running. That's the people. That's the people that really help so much and make it happen because there's no way that we could make this thing happen without people volunteering their time
helping us do it. She posted all the artists in there, but if I click where she was writing see more, it's going to cut me and you off, so I'm not going to do that. But I'm so glad you're going to be there.
Well, I tell you what, if it wasn't for you and Rob too, and all that y'all do to help Southern gospel music be what it is.
Well, his hands and just waves them around and says, this is what we're going to do, and this is going to how it's going to happen. And then, as soon as he does all that, he goes in his office and shuts the door. And you know what that means? Somebody got to make it happen. So, see, he gets the credit because he's doing all this right here. And he does have the brains. But then he puts Vonda to work. So that's what we do.
Matthew
you know,
Browder
all these other people.
The most,
what'd you say? I'm sorry.
Matthew Browder said this is the most difficult valley he's ever walked through. Well, brother, you're going to make it through it, and you're going to come out on the top. Don't worry about it, brother. You know, we all grieve at some point in our life, but you know what? If it hadn't been for God on our side, we'd grieve a whole lot worse than what you already are. So we're praying for you, brother.
I saw the video that you did the other day, Matthew. Y'all were headed over to your mom's house, and y'all were going to go through things, and you said you didn't really want to, but it had to be done. And I could see the pain in your eyes. I could see just looking at your video, I knew you were going through such a hard time. But you know what? God, he don't just see yesterday, and he don't just see today, but he sees tomorrow. And there's a reason for everything that he does. And you know, it's one of those things we won't know right now why, and you know, the way it all turned out. And your mom was so young, and I know that you have to wonder about that kind of thing. I faced one of the hardest things ever that I probably ever faced in my life in November of last year. My 49-year-old nephew passed away, and I look at his mama and my sister, my brother-in-law every single day, and I think, you know, they're just grieving so hard, and I see that in your eyes too. And all I can tell you is the songs that you, oh my goodness, the songs that you have written and have ministered to me and to so many people. Let those songs minister to you, because God might have given you the lyrics to fall on my knees back then for today, that you need to fall on your knees and talk to him about this. You know, he may have given you the lyrics to that song, or praise you in this valley. He already knew the valley you was going to go through when he was giving you the lyrics of the song. He was like, well, Matthew's going to need this song, and this is when he's going to need it. And it, you know, it's our words, no matter what we said, our words could never, ever be enough. But thank God that we have a Savior, and that we're going to see him again one day. There's days when I wake up in the morning and I think about Tim, or I think about my dad all day long. And it's, some days are just sad. And no matter how many times people will say, well, man, you're just going to have to get up. You're just going to have to do this. You know, it's all in God's time. It's when you feel like you can. But don't ever think that anything's weird. You don't know how many times I've driven out to the cemetery. My daddy's buried in this little church cemetery, in church I grew up in. And you don't know how many times, Matthew, I went out there and sat right down on that grave and just sat there till I was dirty and squalled and laid down, and whatever I had to do. If I had to scream, I'd scream. From the minute he passed away in 2011, there's still times when I have to go out there. And I know my daddy's not there. I know where my daddy's at, because my daddy got saved, and I know he went to heaven. But I have to sometimes just go out there, and I'm thinking, you know, people drive by and see me out here having a fit. I know they're wondering, you know, she needs to go get some medicine. No, I don't. I just need to deal with it the way I can deal with it. But everybody in this room right now, there's 24 people in here, and I don't know how many other people are going to watch this, probably a good many, because Ken Johnson was really nice and let us share it on the old time page. But everybody in this room, we all need to commit right now. We need to tell Matthew we're going to pray. If you're going to pray for Matthew, you need to say, buddy, I'm going to pray. I'm going to be praying, because only God can heal his heart right now and help him get through this. And I never met his mama, but I know he was close to her. I can tell. I know he was close to her. But
I know that whole family, and I know she had to be sweet. So
yes. Well, I'm gonna pray for you, Matthew. I can't type it on here while I'm on this thing, but I've already been praying for you, but I'm going to keep on praying. I'm going to keep on praying. You know,
The Harringtons asked us to pray for them. They said they're going through major flooding from the hurricane.
oh,
So,
wow. Yes, the Harringtons. Let me write that one
yeah.
on my list because I I won't tell y'all that I'm getting old and forgetful, but I'm getting old and forgetful. The Harringtons.
Hello to my friend Melinda Davis. I tell you
Hey,
what,
Melinda.
Inheritance is one of my favorite people.
She's a prayer partner right there. That girl right there can pray it down. Harringtons and the Browders right now. And can you just
And I'm going to tell you
imagine?
something, Vonda.
Do what?
There's a special group to me that's going to be at Creekside. There's one very, very special group.
Now
And
leave
she was
somebody off.
such an encourager to me. No, the Journeys. The Journeys.
The Canadian.
Donna
Got them too.
Journey, when I wanted to give up, Donna Journey was one of my biggest encouragers. She was there. She said, "You better not give up." And I said, "You know what? I'm done. I'm done." You know, if it wasn't for people like her, I would not still be in this thing.
Don't
Me and
ever
Mike
give up on
McCreeless was
what God
actually
called
talking
you
about
to do.
that.
Ever.
Yeah.
Because you will be miserable if you're out of his will. You will be miserable out of his will. You got to always walk and talk and do exactly the way that he wants you to do. And if he says, if he says, yeah, Matthew, you got to write a song, then Matthew's got to write a song. If he says, Andrew, you got to do a show, then Andrew's got to do a show. You just got to.
That's right.
Got to. I can't imagine the songs that's going to come out of this. I wonder if Matthew's even
I
picked up a
know.
pen.
I'm sure.
I can't even imagine. I mean, how many number one songs have they had? 13?
I was very saddened to see that the McCameys are coming off the road.
I didn't see that.
Did you see that?
No.
No, November 2019 is their last.
No.
They're coming off the road November 2019. They put it on their Facebook page today.
There's one thing that's happening at Creekside. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to tell, but since there's no way I can ask anybody, I should just go ahead and spill it right here on your show.
Go ahead.
There's going to be a tribute to the Magruder's.
Ooh, I love me some Magruder's. I play them all the time on my show.
A whole lot of people that were associated, family and people that played with the Magruder's that are going to be there. That's all I can say. But it's going to
Mike
be good.
McCreeless said y'all need to go. Mike McCreeless said y'all need to go for lunch one day.
To Big Daddy's. Hey, I want to go when they got pan-fried okra. That's the best thing they got.
Yep.
I love to go there.
Wow, Rebecca.
Big Daddy's is the next county over from me, Andrew. If you ever make it to Heflin, Alabama, I'll take you to Big Daddy's.
Hey, I am thinking about planning a trip to Alabama.
Well,
you know, that's where all my favorite people are at.
Well, I think
in Alabama.
do that. You could just go come see all of us.
You know, with you, the most powerful radio DJs are in Alabama. And yes, I will say that. Because between you and Regina Leith,
oh my Lord.
I love y'all both.
Hey, don't even count me in that, okay? Regina Leith is thebomb.com, okay?
And you are too. I can't tell you how many times.
I'm just me. That's all I am. I'm just
Vonda, every time you do Strictly Southern, I'm watching you the whole show.
Well, bless your
because
heart.
You know
you
what?
ought to get you a hobby. You need a hobby, boy.
Dennis Coker said to tell my viewers that he will be on the show tomorrow night. Hey, also, while the viewers are on, not only will the Cokers be on, but Mr. J. Parrott's coming on too.
I saw that. I saw that. Make him sing something to you in his high tenor voice.
But I tell you my favorite interview
Sometimes
coming
he
up.
whispers.
Yeah, I love that by them.
And he's not singing.
But you know what my favorite?
What's your favorite?
You know who my favorite interview is coming up?
Who?
They contacted me last night, and I about fell out of the bed. It was Benji Gaither. Bill Gaither's son is going to be on my show. And I was so excited about that. You know, I about had a fit. He's going to be right here on Facebook Live
Well,
with me.
imagine that Benji Gaither, like Gaither, like the name, Mr. Gospel Gaither. It's gonna be on your show, but yeah, you saying everybody else is the bomb. I ain't never had no Gaither on my show.
Hey, I can get him on your show anytime you want it.
He can't even understand me. He won't even know what I'm saying.
Well, hey, if he can't understand you, he can't
I
understand
had an
me either.
interview with
So
Karen Peck, though. She understood everything I said. I loved it.
I love me some Karen Peck. There ain't
You and
nobody in this
everybody
world.
else in this whole wide world. Is she not amazing?
I tell you what, I went to see her, Vonda, and I'm going to tell you the truth. They were in North Carolina when I went to see them. And David, I know I was supposed to call you today, but I have been super busy.
David,
This phone has
he
been
can't
blowing
call
up.
you right now. He's talking to me.
But
He'll
do
call you.
you know it means so much to me that each individual member of Karen Peck and New River spent time with me, somebody like me? I would have never thought. You know, I think the world of Matthew and Carrie and Grant and Susan and Karen and Ricky. Don't let me forget Ricky. Um, but they're all amazing. You know, I think every gospel singer is amazing. I
Well, the
love
gospel
every
singers think
gospel
you are
singer.
amazing too.
Well, that means a lot to me. But I tell you what, Vonda, I was telling Mike McCreeless today, I went through 4 years of the deepest, darkest depression I have ever been through in my life. And, you know, had it not been for Southern gospel music, I would not be alive today because it was during that time I learned the inspirations. And Hope's journey has been, oh my, I love y'all so much. Every time I hear you sing and the anointing that you have, and I have to say, Rhonda, that sings with
She got
you,
it going
she
on.
checks on me all the time. I love her.
Uh,
And you know what? If you're in this group and you're a gospel singer, I love you. I will tell you that. And I'm not one of them people that tell you, well, I love you and don't mean it. You know
right.
what? I have a passion for gospel music. You know what? I want to take gospel music all over the world. That's what my desire is.
There's a
I
lot of
love gospel music,
there's a lot of people that
but
would
I'm going to
love
say
to be
something,
able to
Vonda.
have all the gospel concerts in their areas and where they live, like we have. A lot of times we take it for granted. There's a gospel concert on every corner in every town. We can go hear it anywhere we want to, anytime we want to, but we're very fortunate because it's not that way everywhere.
But you know what, Vonda? You know what's special about me and you?
What's that?
The passion and the drive that we have behind us. And I have to say, somebody was saying that, oh, Benji Gaither was going to be on my show. And yes, he is. But if it wasn't for God directing my footsteps,
That's right.
Benji Gaither wouldn't know anything about Andrew
He
Burnett.
gets the glory. He gets the glory.
And
That's why I always
everything I
try to
do.
tell people, keep the main thing the main thing. I can't stand to hear somebody, and groups don't mean to do it, but they do it. They're the worst at doing it. And I'm guilty. I've done it myself before, but I can't stand to hear somebody say, I can't, because you might not can, but you and God can. And a lot of us just, need to get up off our hindies and make it happen. And if we got one person, which is us, and we got one person with us, which is God, we can do anything. He just wants just a plain old everyday person. He can take just one ordinary, simple person that loves the Lord, but he can take them and he can do so many extraordinary things. And we can reach people like, I'm not very fancy. I don't always speak with correct grammar. It's not because I'm trying to be a country bumpkin. It's because I am a country bumpkin. It's just who I am. And I'm made a vow that I would always be me. I don't want to be anybody else. I just want to be me. And so could lead someone to the Lord that the most eloquent speaker in the world
they wouldn't relate with them. But then you could lead someone else to the Lord that maybe had been depressed or had been through a time where they wanted to give up. Because when you said that, you got everybody's attention. Everything just kind of, whole thing just changed. So God uses ordinary people and he does extraordinary things with those people. He never called someone, he never said, hey,
Wow.
call the equipped. But what he does is he equips the person that he calls. So I can remember the first time, oh my goodness, I started Hope's Journey 13 years ago. And Ashley and I were asked to come and sing at a church. And she had filled in with a group. Do you know New Desire? You don't know them?
No.
Well, she had filled in with the group New Desire, and she loved it. And her time was up with them. And she said, Mama, I've been praying and praying and praying. And I just feel like God's leading us to start a ministry. Well, she didn't know that I'd been praying the same thing. And we started Hope's Journey. And I remember the first time that I ever got up on stage and sang or talked to anybody. I was so scared. My legs were shaking, and I was so worried about every note. I would just sit and listen to myself sing, and I would think, this is horrible. Nobody's going to want to hear this. I can't sing like this person, or I can't sing like this person. I already in my mind had already told myself I was going to miss the next note before I ever tried to hit it. It was all right here, which is where everybody's battlefield is right here. And I remember
That's right.
they're singing, and I kept arguing with the Lord. I kept saying, Lord, why do you want me to do this? This is not me. It makes me nervous. I don't like doing it. I'd rather be doing. And that's not what he wants. He wants us out of our comfort zone. And when I came into the radio station the first time and brought them a Hope's Journey CD, I could have passed out when he asked me to do a radio show. I was like, look, there are a lot of people that can do a radio show, but I ain't one of them. Well, here I am. Because if God calls you to do it, he's going to give you what you need to do it. And you won't be like anybody else. I could never compare myself to Paul Howell. He is the best. I just think he's awesome. I think Mickey Bell's a good DJ. I think he does an awesome job. I think Donnie Cox, I think he's one of the best. I listen to his show. I listen to Ron Foster. Listen, these guys, they got it going on. And then I listen to something that I do, and I start trying to critique it. And it's like the Lord always reminds me, remember, everybody's different. You're going to reach people that they're not going to reach. They're going to reach people that you're not going to reach. And if we all could think of that every time that we get a chance to speak or sing, that God didn't call me to be anybody else, and he didn't call you to be anybody else. He called you to be Andrew. And there's one thing, it's the highest compliment I could ever pay you, is that I've never logged onto your show that you didn't pray for someone, or that you didn't mention all the prayer requests, you didn't share part of your testimony, and you didn't make it about the main thing, which is about Jesus Christ. And I've heard singers before that were amazing. They were some of the best singers in the world, and they were so good until one day they realized they were so good. And then it just kind of turned me off. And if everybody would just keep it about the main thing, which is Jesus Christ, then everything be okay. We'd all be fine.
Did you see Matthew Browder's comment?
I didn't. What he said?
He said, speaking of Bill Gaither, Adam Crabb called him the day after his mama's funeral and told him that they were in the studio cutting his song.
Oh my goodness, which song?
He didn't say. He said, I wish I could have called my mom and told her.
Well, maybe
that's amazing, Matthew Browder.
Maybe you should tell her anyway. How do you know she ain't gonna know? Boy, that was good grammar, wasn't it?
That's right.
Oh, don't tell anybody I work for a magazine. Oh, that's my God. Oh,
Vonda, I have to tell you something very special.
Tell me.
You know, today, me and Mike McCreelis that's on here, when you made that video about coming on my show, that just made my day. I could not stop talking about that video you made on the phone with Mike McCreeless. For me and Mike had actually talked up to the time I got on Facebook Live. That just made my day. When you wanted to come on my show, man, I thought you was the best thing. I thought you was Bill Gaither
Well,
himself
you wrong.
because I think the world of you. I think the
Well,
world of
I
you.
think the world of you, and I couldn't wait. I've told everybody. In fact, I might get in trouble for telling you this, but they posted on the Scoops page the magazine today, right like a little bit before the show, and you can ask Rob. He'll back me up. I was so mad. I said, "Really? I'm fixing to be on Andrew's show, and y'all gonna go post magazine. People gonna be reading the magazine instead of watching Andrew." And he was like, "I know that you did not just get on to me about posting the magazine when you've been fussing about it for a month." And I said, "Well, it's time for Andrew's show." So look, don't ever think that we don't love your show and we don't appreciate what you're doing, because we all do appreciate it. We all love you. I just saw Missy Kenton. She said, "We love you." And look, we do. I mean, we do. And I know sometimes it looks like on the outside, you, if you're like me, you'll watch stuff, you'll see stuff on Facebook, or somebody will send you something and you'll see it, and it's really easy to get discouraged. But you have to really just kind of sit down and look at it in what it is and kind of put things in perspective. Just because you see it or just because you read it on Facebook don't mean it's real, don't mean it's true. And so everything isn't really the way it seems. And I know, like, sometimes your numbers are probably low. Sometimes I'll get on the air and somebody will turn me in and say my show is inappropriate. Well, the first thing I want to do is think in my mind, well, who would do that? You know, or who would be mad or whatever. Everybody's going through the same thing. We're all on a level playing field. But God will, he will step in, he will show his favor, and he will take care of his people. So the only thing that any of us have to do, honestly, all we have to do, the singers, the DJs, the people that love the Lord. If you're in Walmart and somebody's playing this video, I'm talking to you too. All we have to do is put Christ first in our life. And if we fall in love with him, then we're going to love all the people around us. We're going to love everybody.
Melinda, I sure do wish I was coming to NQC, but I just don't have the funds and the transportation
See,
this
if
year,
this had
or
been
I
when
would be
you were
there.
coming to Alabama, you could have rode with me or Melinda. I'm going right by my lonesome,
I wish I was.
right by myself.
But I don't know anybody from South Carolina that would be going. But
Either, but
hey, I can promise you this: I can get anybody. I can get Melinda, and I can get you at my church. You just let me know when y'all want to come, and I'll get y'all there. How about that? I'll bring y'all to me.
oh, okay. Instead of you come and see us, you're gonna bring us to see
Yeah,
you. Well,
yeah,
I don't know about Melinda, but I'd be glad to come. If God opens the door, I'll be there. You don't have to worry about that.
that's right. Well, I tell you what, Vonda, you are just a very special friend to me. I appreciate you. I appreciate everything that you do. You are a blessing to me, and it just meant the world to me when you told me you'd come on my show. I said, if I get her to talk about Creekside, that's my way to get her on.
You are
I
so
said, but
silly. I
Lord,
would have
I
talked to
said,
you about whatever. You wanted to talk about pickle pig feet.
but
I like to talk about pickle pig feet. Do you like to? Have you ever had any pickle pig feet?
I have
Well,
not.
you should just, live a little. We only live one time. What is that saying? YOLO. Just go to the nearest Piggly Wiggly. Do you have a
Yeah,
Piggly Wiggly in your town?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You know what potted meat is?
I eat that stuff like it ain't even nothing.
There you go. Okay. Potted meat and mayonnaise on a bread that sticks to the roof of your mouth.
hmm
Try.
Oh, yeah.
So go to the potted meat section. Find you some pickle pig feet. Get you some saltine crackers. Don't have to tell nobody, because y'all don't tell nobody to eat pickle pig feet or they'll think I'm not dignified. But get you some and get you some saltines and put you one on there and just chow down, boy. It is good stuff.
And
You know what I tell people, Vonda?
what?
I tell people potted meat is a rich man's
That's
food.
right. Do you say, I got another thing too. Do you say
Yes.
salmon or salmon?
Salmon.
Me too. See, I knew we was connected. I've been made fun of so many times.
Hey, I'm country too. I say ain't and all that other stuff.
Ain't nothing wrong. Did you hear what I said? Ain't nothing wrong with it. Did your mama make or your grandmother make salmon patties?
Man, I ate them things like they're going out of style too.
You know what my favorite meal is? Homemade
What's that?
biscuits. I didn't get this fat from not eating, y'all. Homemade biscuits, fried salmon patties, and I like to fry them in an iron skillet so they're golden brown. Sliced tomatoes, and I call it sweet milk gravy. It's the white gravy, but you mix it up with
Yeah.
sweet milk. That's the best meal in the world. If you don't like it, there's something wrong with you.
Wayne Shirey is in the room.
No way.
You know the Shireys mean a
No
lot to
way.
me too.
Hey, the Shireys, I think, are going to be at Creekside. I know I should already know that. But I lost my little list in there, and I was going by that poster, so I don't remember. But I couldn't
Hey,
hear
there's
them.
Jerry Jennings. He's in here too.
Jerry Jennings, we was talking about him a little bit earlier. It's a good thing he didn't hear what all we said. We told everybody you ate
Hey,
potted
Jerry,
meat
it was
sandwiches.
all bad.
You about want to listen again, Jerry. We
Yeah.
was talking about you. We told everybody you ate potted meat sandwiches. We did. We sure did.
But Vonda, I just want to tell you thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming on here with me.
Well,
You mean a lot to me. And please tell me you're going to be Facebook Live tomorrow.
I'm going to be Facebook Live in the morning from 9 to 11. And it's been a while. And I was like, tomorrow night, my son's playing in Tuscaloosa. And I'm going to meet Jack, and we're going to the ball game tomorrow night. And so this morning, the first thing, when I talked to him, the first thing I told him is I said, I'm so excited. He said, why? I said, because I'm going to get to be Facebook Live. He was like, okay. But I love it. I love it so much, and I don't get to all the time. But and today I filled in the dentist office. They needed me to work today, and my last day to work was last week. So today I went down there and I worked with them, and they asked me. Every one of them asked me, said, "Well, how does it feel? Did you miss us every day?" And I was like, "I love you, but I have not missed you at all, at all." But it's wonderful.
Jerry Jennings, you forget you're coming to a church right 2 miles below my house. Don't make me pay you a visit.
Does he live close to you?
No, they're coming to a church right
the
down the
Creekside.
road from me to sing.
Oh, that's cool. You gonna go hear them?
Yeah, absolutely. I love the Chordsmen.
Hey, another
I'm
thing.
actually the one that helped them get in that church.
Oh, really? Another thing that we do at Creekside is everybody goes to eat together at night. So we all fellowship together and go eat. We used to go to Christmas Denny's, the Denny's that was decorated with Christmas, and it's closed down. So I don't know. Paula's been scoping it out. I don't know where we'll go this year. Sometimes Cheddar stays open late, but I don't know who's going to be there. But we all go eat together, and then we have to be back by midnight. So you'll love that too. Brandon's going to be there, isn't he?
Well, who's
Brandon?
that?
Brandon
Brandon
Beer?
who?
You know Brandon.
I'm not sure.
SOTR Radio?
Yeah.
He's going to be there.
Yeah. But I don't know if he's going to be there or not.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be there. I'm pretty sure he is.
Jerry Jennings.
Are you going to bring your equipment?
Jerry Jennings said, "Come on, big guy."
Are you going to bring
Yes,
anything to
yes,
do
yes,
some
yes.
Interviews? We'll have a room set up for all the DJs. Y'all will kind of have to share it, but
Absolutely.
it's a big room, and y'all can share it and write down in the book when you're going to be using it and who you're going to be interviewing, and then that way we'll make sure you don't go in there and somebody else is in there and you have to mess up with your interview. So we want to just keep a little log in there, and it's a really nice room. We've used it. I think it was last year we used it. We used it when Megan with the Drummond family did pictures. We used it for a photography room. We'll clean more of it out, and we have a really nice place set up in there for y'all to do interviews. Plus, you'll have some booths over on the back area, and if you want to do it from your booth, you can do it from your booth. But
Just works a little bit. The acoustic.
Hey, there's another cool guy just come in the room,
Seth,
Seth Sneed.
I
He's pretty
see
cool.
him. Seth is in the room. You know what he told me? He told me he was the good-looking one in the Sneed family. What you laughing about? You don't think he is?
I tell you what, he's got a sweet little girlfriend. I tell you that.
Ain't she something?
Sarah is a great person.
She is a good person.
You know, Vonda, when I first came to NQC, High Road, the Henson family, and oh Lord, the Perrys. I couldn't remember who the other group was. They were they were the ones that actually treated me like family. Like they knew who I was when I stepped in the door. And that just meant so much
Have
to
you
me.
heard their
Well, the
song?
Sneed family has always treated me as family.
Have you heard the Sneed family song "God Against the Law"?
Yes, I love it too. I play it all the time.
You know who wrote it?
Who wrote it?
My probate judge here in my town. Heflin, Alabama.
Wow.
Went to high school with him. Went to elementary school with him. Started kindergarten. His name was Ryan Robertson. And one of the most talented fellas. I play their music sometimes. He's in a group called Carter Robertson Band. And the Carter is Brian Carter that played the guitar on the Gaither videos with Jeff and Sherry Easter is the other guy that's in the group. And Ryan is one of the greatest songwriters, and he co-wrote that song with a fella named Jerry Lackey. I'll never forget the first time I heard it. It was on a cassette tape, and they had just written the song, and I was thinking, wow. And the Sneed family went and recorded it and just brought the song to life. It's a great message. If you guys hadn't heard it, you need to hear it. It's an awesome song.
Hey, I got a special shout out too to Rob Patz here. You know, I just think he's one of the coolest dudes out there. I tell you, I enjoy talking to him a lot too. And I tell you what, I enjoy reading SG and Scoots magazine, but for one thing, I love reading Rob's article and his spiritual insight that he gives in the magazine. You know, it's stuff like that that we need today to help us get through the next day. So, Rob, I appreciate you, bud. And Jerry Jennings, yes, I've got your single. I have been playing it like crazy. I love it.
Did you guys get our single this week?
Have you heard their new single?
I have not.
Saved is all you need to be. Man, it is good.
I'll have to make sure that I hear it.
Hey, Jack, good to see you, buddy.
Who?
Hey, Jerry, that cost Jack.
Oh, he just
you know who I'm talking about.
On here. It's getting dark. I had to walk outside because it was dark inside.
Jerry asked Rob how much did that cost. It didn't cost Rob anything, but it cost you lunch when I come see you.
Oh, that was funny. There's Joseph Reed. Hey, Joseph Reed. How are you?
That's a cool cat right there, too.
Do what?
I love me some Joseph Reed.
Yeah. He's amazing.
He's a cool cat, too.
Yeah. Jerry Jennings,
Vonda,
I'll be at booth number 615. I'll be doing interviews. In fact, one of those interviews is with you. So bring your song to me when you show up for your interview. It's going to be fun. Rob's been packing all his stuff.
I'll pray for extra patience for you.
What? Yo, extra patience.
I said I'll pray for extra patience with you for you to have to deal with Jerry.
Oh, he'll do good. I can talk to Jerry. I was going to tell you that Rob's been packing all of his stuff, and Alicia's going to be working and helping us in the booth, and we're going to be doing the interviews and stuff, and he thinks he's going to be all decked out, you know, and we put him on a color coordination. He has to be he has to wear the right color on the right day. Y'all have to show up just for that to see if Rob's got on the right color. He probably won't.
Well, Vonda, thank you
I
so much for
know.
coming on here with me.
I can't
That
believe
means so much.
I can't believe our time's over. I've had a great time talking to you, but I kind of have to get off here because it's dark outside, and you're not gonna be able to see me any longer. You know where I'm fixing to go? I'm fixing to go home and
Where are you
pack
going?
so I can go to NQC because tomorrow night I'm going to be going to the football game. And then we're going to be, Hope's Journey's going to be singing. And I forgot to say that Hope's Journey's going to be at Creekside, but Hope's Journey's going to be at Creekside. And we're going to be singing in Inglewood, Tennessee. Excuse me. And Jack, he's singing somewhere else, so he couldn't fill in with me. So do you know Doug Coram?
Mm-hmm.
He's
Yeah, been
gonna be
playing his
filling
song on my
in.
show.
He's gonna be filling in with Hope's Journey. You're the only person that knows that. And can you
Wow.
imagine him and Rhonda together? They gonna sing me to death. That's what's gonna happen.
Hey, that's an anointed. Y'all all are
Can
anointed.
I just tell
I'd
you
like to be
though
there
that
for that.
Rhonda could sing 24 hours a day, even if she doesn't, even if she's got a cold and laryngitis. She could sing from 7 o'clock in the morning to 7 o'clock the next morning. She never gets hoarse. She's always in, she cannot be able to speak, but the girl can sing. And she will sing you to death. And I'm like, oh my goodness.
Wow.
She's just, God really gifted her. He really gave her an amazing gift when he gave her singing voice. And she is a great singer. And yes, she is anointed. I love singing with her. I love to pick on her. But I ain't kidding about the singing death. She really will sing you death. But Doug's going to fill in Inglewood, Tennessee. And then Sunday morning, we're in Sweetwater, Tennessee. A lot of Tennessee. And then I'm going to leave Sweetwater and go on up to some Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, to the NQC.
Well,
If you need
you have
anything,
a
any
good time with
music,
all that.
what
That
do you
sounds
need?
like fun.
If you need any music from anybody, or if you need me to pick up something for you, you just holler at me and I'll take care of you. Oh, there's Woo Woo. I'm in trouble. I thought she was gone. I didn't know she's. Well, I may need another filly, and Andrew, you won't come sing with me. I done made her mad now.
I sure will.
We got to get off here.
Well, I love you, my friend, and I thank you so much
Hey, what do
for
I
coming
do
on.
to say bye?
I'm just gonna hit finish,
So you're just gonna
and it'll be over.
You're just gonna zap me.
Yeah.
You're just gonna zap me. Okay. Well, listen.
Well, we're
Everybody, don't
both
forget,
leaving up.
pray for Matthew. Pray for Matthew Browder, and pray for the other family that's going through the floodings. But Matthew wouldn't be asking us to pray for him if he didn't need us to pray for him, and we all need to pray.
Well, I appreciate you, Vonda. Thank you so much, my friend, and I love you and appreciate you.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Bye.